Hey, welcome back to another episode of Discombobulated. I'm, of course, your host, Bobby Jaycox. I want to let you know that I have dates coming up, so come out and see those. It's just me dating other people, girls, guys, everybody, the non-binary, everybody. I'm dating everybody, so come out and watch those dates. I also have dates on the road. Come out and see those. Those are real ones that you should actually buy tickets to. January 12th, I will be in Philadelphia. I have 2 shows. Check out my website. I will put all the details there. And then the reason I'm going out east is, of course, as always, to see Story of the Year. They're playing in New Jersey, and they have low tickets, so you should buy those fuckers and come out to the show with me. And then January 14th, Bobby, you couldn't be going to another Story of the Year concert in Times Square to see Story of the Year. Yeah, I'm definitely going to go see my favorite band in my favorite city. Yeah. Then after that, back in Philadelphia, I have a show that Monday. Check out my website. Keep saying that, Bob. That's good. You're really good at this. January 17th, I will be at Helium Comedy Club in St. Louis, Missouri. They are doing the roast battles, and I will be judging, which I prefer to roasting other people, because one thing comedians like to do is sign up for things and later be like, were you fucking serious about that? Okay. After that, January 21st, I will be at the Funny Bone in Westport Plaza in St. Louis, Missouri. There are 2 Funny Bones. It is the Westport one, not the St. Charles one. That one's great, but I actually did my first open mic at that Funny Bone, so come check it out. I always crush there. I always do. And January 25th, I will be in Waterloo, Illinois. I will be at Anti-Bar, and tickets are on my website. And for that one specifically, use my link because I get extra money when you do that. So if you're already buying tickets to the show, why not make sure you put it right into my pocket? Because I am tired of sleeping in my car. And on January 26th, you can see me in Chicago. Bobby, do you have a show? No, it's the last night of Story of the Year, leg 2 of their tour. So yeah, I'm going to that. You have to go. Get tickets to see them, and because I will be there too, just screaming my fucking head off, trying to remind everyone in the audience that they need to go a little harder. Because I've seen audience members, and as a comic, you get mad when they're not showing you love, and then so when I'm an audience member, I show. And then February 14th, that is Valentine's Day, and it's a private event, and you're not allowed to ask what or where I am going. March 29th, 30th, and 31st, I will be there all weekend in Kansas City, Missouri. All over. We're doing the Don't Tell comedy on the 29th, Barrel of the Bottom on the 30th, and the Knucklehead Saloon, dude. The fucking Knucklehead Saloon on March 31st. I can't imagine a more fitting place for Babaloo to perform. So my buddy Charlie gave me that nickname, Babaloo, and I think it's one of my favorites. It's better than what my dad used to call. So then in April 19th and 20th, you can see me at the Comedy Cabin in Janesville, Wisconsin. Very excited to go there. New club. First time going there. Long time knowing about the club. Going there now, though. So those are all my dates, so I can get fucking rid of. We'll save them for later. You can use them. Bobby, save those. Put those in a folder you'll never fucking touch again. So those are all the tour dates. Not tour dates because it's not a tour. But if it was, it'd be called the Knucklehead Saloon Tour. I am kind of a little knuckle fucking head, wouldn't you say? A little knucklehead. This is how big of a knucklehead I am. I was recording. I'm getting ahead of myself. I was sitting down with a microphone in my hand, recording a bonus Bob episode for my Patreon, and looked down and go, how long have we been doing this? Realized to record, you have to hit all you have to do is hit a little, just hit what it looks like the Chinese flag, right? Is the Chinese flag the one with the circle in the middle? Okay, Google, what does the Chinese flag look like?
On the website gh.china-embassy.gov.cn, they say, the national flag of the People's Republic of China is red in color, rectangular in shape, with 5 stars. The proportion between the length and height of the flag is 3:2. The 5 pointed yellow stars are located in the upper left corner.
Thank you. I'll ask her what the weather is, and she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't understand. But that she got. That's all you have to do is just hit that button. That's all I have to do. I even tested it to make sure it's working. Because I had hit it, my brain scattered, and I didn't record. So I was... And even during the story I was telling, I realized, I might just be talking to myself, because subconsciously I probably knew. My subconscious is probably like, just like watching me drive this ship of my body and just being like, no. Can he hear us? Does he feel when I'm driving him? Does he ever? No? Okay. Go with your gut, buddy. I will soon. I just got to take more probiotics to fix how my gut works. That's why your evil thoughts come through. It's because you're eating too much fucking... they got these really good chicken nuggets that you can get. They're so good. You get them at Aldi. And goddamn if I didn't eat too many of them. But you look on them and they're not even mostly chicken. They're like, it's like underneath it's like chicken and they're like, and rib meat and parts of frogs and eating on a budget. Yeah, you got to know that. Yeah, you've never seen a nugget in the wild. You've never seen what. I should start eating healthier. What the fuck? Oh, yeah. So anyway, I was fully invested in a story and realized I wasn't recording. And I was like, that was bound to happen. I've actually been doing this podcast, maybe, 6 months? Who cares? But I was like, you're going to forget. You're going to forget to hit record one of these days or something. And it happened. So... But I was already so in the zone that I was like, I'm going to fucking get on here. One of the stories that I got reminded of, I don't think I've talked about it on the podcast, but I'm like trying not to go anywhere as much right now. Like not if I don't have to, like if I don't have to go into public, like last night, like some people were hanging out and people were like, hey, come out. And I'm like, I don't really want to do that. And I'm not like a health nut. But I do like to, take care of my body. And I realized, my mom had said this once to me. She was like, do you realize that like you get really sick like once, sometimes twice a year? And I realized because I was like traveling so much, but I also wasn't letting my body rest. And that's one thing that I was like, well, like I would always think, I'm like, well, I have like all this willpower to keep going. So let's just like have fun. And then you realize later it's not a good way to like regulate your nervous system. So I started like taking better care of myself. And one thing like post-COVID that I started doing was like, before I went on trips or to like perform, I would just do a lot less and really rest, get like a lot of like fucking get deep breathing, get all that shit, water, vitamin C, electrolytes, gay conversion therapy, everything I could do to just get prepared to go on the road. And when I would do it, I would take such good care of myself. And then I did this show I was headlining at Helium in Indianapolis, and I flew in and I was flying out after the weekend to go out to LA because, that was that. Yeah. Cause that's whenever I got it. So I leave Indianapolis, and this is important to the story. So whenever I got to the hotel, cause like, usually I'm like, what's going on that weekend? Well, that fucking weekend dude, it was the fucking, cheerleading championship or whatever. So there's just all these fucking girls running around, like some of them holding medals, some of them crying, just dead. Not one single dad in sight looked happy. And I'll tell you this, I don't have kids, but if I had a daughter and she wanted to fucking do cheerleading, I'd be like, you do whatever you want. I would hope she'd be like one of those badasses. It's like, I'm not wearing all this fucking makeup. I'm here to do backflips. I'm like, there you go, girl. But that's hypothetical. And who knows, maybe she's like, I like the makeup, so you don't shame me for that. There's no real good way to get through it. Okay, so Even in my hypothetical world, I'm not doing good as a father. Oh my God. So, yeah, I get there and there's like just all these, it's just, so the whole weekend it was that, like just fucking, and like it didn't keep me up. I'm just saying what happened. It was just like kids running up and down the hall. You know what I mean? Like you get in an elevator, like all these kids are like laughing. They like try to like stop whatever they were doing, probably vaping. And so, yeah. So then on the last night, I went out with some people from, some of the staff from the club because I've gone there a couple times and they're just the best. And that might have been my first weekend there. I can't remember, but we had so much fun. And I got home that night, and I don't fly a lot, but I travel a lot, and I started like realizing when I got back, I was like, I've been at the airport and it's been kind of busy, but if this whole convention is here, and like I saw moms leaving in the morning, like it was 2 a.m. and you saw people like getting to go to the airport, I was like, it's gonna be fucking crazy there. So even though I was fucked up, I'm not gonna get fucked up. I was fucked up. And fucked. And so I go to the airport early. I like did that thing that I was like, because I was gonna lay down. That is what I was gonna do. I was gonna do that thing where you're like, just lay down, and I can't wait to wake up soon. Like an hour is gonna be even though it's never worked ever. I promise. And so I was like, no, you're not. I've just known myself too long. So I did listen to my gut that time. You hear that, gut? So I woke up. Like my brain, I was like, let's just go. So I packed up everything and I was so happy. And I've like done that on the road and it's very, very helpful to yourself because you're already gonna be so stressed the next day. Don't pack stuff, forget your fucking toothbrush. Just pack it all up that night. So I get back and I was like, I feel like everyone's gonna be going to the airport. I was like, I want to go. And I'm so fucking glad I did and I've been in this situation before. One time me and a friend were both gonna be in a movie. And we partied the whole night, and we were supposed to we were shooting at the airport. It was the movie, The Layover. You can see it on Hulu. If you fucking pause that movie, you can see like little fat Bob, just like right here, just a little bit like tired. I literally was. I don't know how long I was up. 29 hours. I have no idea. We were like falling asleep, like while we were like waiting. They're like, "You guys ready?" I'm like, "Yeah," but which is good. We were getting into character. People who at airports getting in layovers. Method acting. And so we were up and I remember I was like, I think he was like, let's go to bed. We'll like go to bed for 45 minutes. I was like, do you hear? I was like, no, we just got to. I'm like, I'm not going to miss my first opportunity to be in a movie. Yeah, I partied too much the night before, but we were extras. And it's like not even like, even like, well, what if they're not gonna. I don't know if you know how the world works. Like there's no world where they're like, listen, we need this chubby white guy who looks so fucking hungover. Do you have his resume? Oh, it still has stuff from his high school. One of his training facilities was high school drama. 1 and 2, he falls in love with Kate Upton. Like, so we knew we were going to be extras, and it's like this is something you do this is a building a resume thing. But was so cool because we actually I don't remember who we knew on set. I can't remember. We knew a couple people, and they were like, "Hey, we're going to like watch them film." When we went and watched them, like, dude, I watched William H. Macy, dude, fucking ukulele in hand. Directing. It was so fucking cool. He couldn't have been cooler. He was like, we're ready. And like I don't remember how like they said it, but it like they were setting up and he was sitting there for a while and they're like, no, we're ready now. And I remember him going, well, let's shoot the fucking thing. He wasn't even being rude. He was like, I'm playing a ukulele. I'm ready at any point to shoot this. And yeah, dude, like Kate Upton walks by us and I was like, I'd never really seen I've seen famous people like comics or whatever, but never like not really movie stars. I think that was probably like the first like time I'd seen. Yeah. So I was like, holy shit, it's crazy. It's just like, it's a real like fun event and they shoot it in St. Louis for the tax purposes. So, and it's like, how are we going to close down the airport? It's like, no one's really flying to St. Louis. So, yeah, anyway, Discombobulated. So we go to yeah, we went there early. So my back to what I was saying, I've learned that you can't lay down just like, and also get to the airport and fall asleep. Who cares? So back to Indianapolis. I always say that weird. Indianapolis, 500. So I go to the airport, and I'm so glad I did, because I've flown a lot, but not enough to like know, like everyone was like, this is. I was like, is this normal? They're like, this is the busiest I've ever seen any airport in my fucking life. And we were like doing that the whole way, line through. You'd meet new people. You're like, this is crazy, right? And but I was talking about traveling. That, I believe, is where I got COVID, because I was traveling and I flew to LA, and great friend of the podcast, also one of my, like, I feel like I admire him as better than say like a mentor or something like that, because he did help me out, but he's also like he's not like, that's the cool thing about comedy, is people aren't like talking at you. I always felt like people who've helped me out like him were like taking me alongside and never, like, I don't know. My point is to say mentor. I feel like, I don't know, like if someone's like, they're my mentor, you're always like, what did they like go like, whoosh, no, don't do that. Like he was always like, I think maybe do this. He got me my first weekend like hosting at the Funny Bone. He got me one of my first paid gigs. Like, dude, love that guy so much. We talked about it on his episode of the podcast. You should listen. I think it's number like 5, I believe. But we kept in contact, and he messaged me one day, and I swear to God, like the whole manifesting thing might fucking be real, because I was like working on like trying to get dates on the road, like I was doing shit. This was like over a year ago or something like that, and he was like, come, and he's like, if you want, you can, I know you might like, we were thinking about who could watch our dog for like a week and a half. And that's a lot to ask someone to stay at our house, walk our dog 3 times a day. He was like, but I feel like there's a comedian we might know that could do that for him and his wife, Stacy, and their awesome dog, Houdini. Very, very like one of those, like, because here's the thing. It's like a smaller dog. I don't know exactly what kind it is. I always forget. But usually when you see a small dog, like, I mean, usually they're just like they're just like, they look through you. This dog is so chill, so easy to take care of. And I'm setting this up because I show up to their house, hung out with them, and they're like, yes, you get to stay here, like food, whatever you want, coffee, all the stuff is here for you. Just take care of our dog. And it was so simple. We got to hang out, and I guess it was the first. So I think they leave, and I go that night to the Comedy Store, and I was, just hanging out. It's one, if you've never been, probably the 2 most notorious comedy clubs in the country might be the Comedy Store and the Comedy Cellar, and there's other great clubs, but those are like notorious. Like, and the cool thing about the Comedy Store is like when you go there, like, dude, you'll be taking a piss in the bathroom and be like, oh my God, this is where Robin Williams did cocaine. Like, whatever. It's like, this is where it was. Like, all these fucking guys. And so, like, I just like going there. I like the energy of it. And I'm not like a guy, it's like, if I'm coming to LA, it was like, I booked a couple shows, but I'm like, dude, these people hang out every night just to get a kick at the Comedy Store. And I was like, just to get on stage, just to get some note. And I was like, dude, I'm just going to hang out. And it's wild how many people I already knew at that club. And so I'm just like hanging out, feeling good. And then, like, I go upstairs, and some guy was like, who are you? I was like, I'm a comic. He's like, oh, yeah. And this guy was like, the guy literally, swear to God, this guy goes, Bobby Jaycox? I was like, what the fuck? But he had done, like, he was a comic, moved to LA from St. Louis. And so we were hanging out, and all these comics are doing this, like, roast battle. And I'm like, oh, shit, Jeff Ross is here, dude. And we're all hanging out. And I went outside to like smoke a cigarette, and I was talking to another comic, and we both like were like, oh, dude, I was like, we've never met, but we know this person. And so we're chatting, and then out of nowhere, dude, I feel like I'm going to fucking faint. And it's not cool, and if that was the opposite how I wanted to feel, because that night, dude, I rented a motorcycle. I'm in LA. I have nowhere to be. Fucking pull up on a motorcycle, parked it illegally. Fucking let's go. And then all of a sudden I don't feel right. And I'm talking to the guy. I go, hey man, I gotta go. And I went in the bathroom, dude, and I took a pretend shit. Just sat down, and dude, I could not stand up. I was like, my body felt like it was on, like in that video game, you know, like when you're on a video game and it's like, for real, you're getting low on like, you need to get some energy or whatever, and you don't, and then all of a sudden your character's just like, I might die right here. Then you're like, damn it, I forgot to collect rupees. That happened in my real life. And all of a sudden, dude, I made like new friends that night, guys I'd never met before. People I saw on stage were just like, I was like, dude, fucking great set. You killed it with that roast. He was like, didn't you think the other guy wasn't that guy? I was like, yeah, you killed it way harder. So then I just like, I felt like I was going to pass out, and I go outside, and I'm like, there's like this area where the like, you know, certain guys, like a fucking Tom Segura will park his car, whatever. It's like these guys like that fucking come and park their car. And it's like, there's certain places where you're like, whatever, not supposed to go or whatever. And so when they closed, I just didn't feel good. And I was like, I might throw up over here. And it's like in that parking lot. And this guy's like, excuse me, you can't be over here. And I was like, I'm sorry. And this comic I met was like, no, dude, he's a comic. He's cool. I was like, I'll stand with him. And I was like, dude, thank you. He goes, are you okay? I go, dude, I don't know. And I was like, I can't even ride my motorcycle home. So I got an Uber, went home, and I'm so sorry I got an Uber. I feel bad for that. But then the next morning I woke up and I still felt like shit, but I didn't I don't think at this point I was like, I have COVID. And so I remember, I think I got an Uber back to the motorcycle, and I was like, I'm going to get the motorcycle back. And I think I'm just laying down today so I can like have the rest of the week. I got shows the rest of the weekend. And I remember I laid down when I got back, and I was like, I just was like, oh, dude, I think I have COVID. And then I remember I started being like, do I taste stuff? Do I smell stuff? And I was like, I feel like it's not that I don't feel like my taste and smell completely went away. I just feel like it got like really bland to where like, I was like trying to tell him like, do I have underwear on or not? Like I was like, you have to like move around. And then I was like, dude, I remember this feeling. I think I have COVID. And so I'm like, I start to freak out because I'm okay. I'm in the best case scenario. Even though I'm on the road, I have the whole house to myself. I do have to take care of this dog, but I even asked them, I was like, can the dog be near me? Like we were whatever. But I was like, I might have COVID. And so Ryan and Stacy, the people's house I was staying at, their families were like meeting for the first time, like since COVID, like on this amazing trip out of the country. And I had to message him and be like, hey, some knucklehead has COVID and you might have COVID too. And I can't express enough. I messaged everybody who was at the store, all the people I was in Indianapolis with. Dude, I couldn't find a soul that I was in contact with that had also gotten COVID. So I guess no one can talk to me for longer than 15 minutes before like, we got to get the fuck out of talking to this guy. So their exposure rate wasn't enough or whatever. But I find out I have COVID, and I'm just like standing in their kitchen just being like, what the fuck? And then I realized that I can watch White Lotus and pass out, sweat, like not feel well. You know, I think I threw up a little bit, but like, you know, have the shits, not try to eat, fucking throw a burger in the trash. That's what I did. And I had COVID, and I was like, so that feeling was like so bad, and I always have to prepare for being on the road. And the worst part was that then I had COVID, so then I had to call my doctor from the road. And I was like, yeah, I think I have I have COVID, so like I need to go to the store and like the comedy store. I have to go to the comedy store to pick up medicine. They say the best laughter is medicine, but I fucking totally got COVID and I was laughing my ass off. So I think you guys might want to do that study again. Maybe the one on the vaccine too. Okay, so because dude, I'm vaxxed, waxed, and fucking ready to play the sax, and I got COVID a bunch of times. So dude, I want to meet someone when they talk about COVID that they're always like, you know, I actually think I got it in 2019, but I want to see someone who's like, I actually think I got it in 1972. I swear to God I had COVID in the 70s. I had COVID before it was even cool. I was in Wuhan. I invented Wuhan. So yeah. So this is the worst part. So I'm in LA and so I have to cancel my shows, which is I was like I'm glad I'm at comedy, like at the point in comedy now to where like if I have to cancel a show as just as like a person, I'm like, damn, that's okay. And I'm definitely not at the point where I'm like, oh man, there's going to be a lot of upset people. If anything, they're like, yeah, that Midwest guy can't go on the show. That's cool. We didn't want to see it. So, but I got the motorcycles and I messaged them. I was like, hey, I have COVID. Can I like return the bike? And they're like, yeah, if you bring us the bike, we'll give you like, maybe like, I don't remember, like some credits. And I was like, well, I have COVID. I can't. Can you have someone come get it? They're like, no. I was like, okay, I'll keep the bike. So just a motorcycle sat there, except for when I called my doctor and they're like, she was like, so you're in Missouri? And I go, I don't think so. I don't know. I have COVID. I'm kind of delirious. She goes, well, you need to be in Missouri for me to like talk to you. And I was like, even if it's not, we're on the phone. So if I was on the moon and I needed your help, you'd be like, you're not network. The moon's not in network. You're not covered on the moon. Let me check your premium. What part of the moon are you on? The dark side or the side we see? Is it called it's not called the light side. What kind of side is it? Who cares? So she goes, are you in Missouri? and so I was like, hold on. And then I hightailed it back to Missouri with COVID, just ran through the woods so I wouldn't run into anybody. Might have gotten some woodland creatures sick. I did wear a mask, and I just kept spraying a consistent stream of Lysol in front of me, like I fogged everything. So, and then I had the call in Missouri, and then I know I was there, but it made sense to go back to because I had to go get my because you have to have the call in Missouri, but you can pick up your medicine where you aren't. Does that make sense? Does that make fucking sense? So then my next problem, this is the worst part. I had to call CVS, Walgreens, whatever they have when I was in LA. And I was like, hey, I have COVID and I need medicine. And they go, you have to come in and get it. And I was like, did you hear what I said? Did you hear me? Because what I said was I have COVID. How am I going to come in the store? And I told them what I had done with the woodland creatures, and they said, yeah, you might just have to come in, or you can call another location, otherwise you have to come in. I'm like, could you set it outside? I'm sorry I'm asking you to do something, but I also just am trying to help. So then I realized that I was like, I have to ride this motorcycle with COVID. I got to ride a motorcycle to Walgreens. Go through the drive-thru. So I had a mask on, a helmet, and just blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I hope I don't pass out on the bike. Put the mask on, the helmet, it would just push down the mask. I'm like trying to put it on. I know you're like, Bobby, you're probably outside. And I'm like, I know, but I don't. That's the thing is, if I'm sick, that sucks. But like, you really don't want to. Like, I feel like getting someone else sick always feels the worst. You're like, I remember when I first got COVID, I gave it to my best friend, and I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. He's like, it's cool. Like, he's so nice. I was like, fuck, dude. So it's like, I don't want to give it to anybody. So, dude, it was the worst. And so I'm riding the motorcycle there. I got my backpack on so I can put the medications in there. There was a line too. I know people behind me had to be like, what the fuck? This guy is so, I think they asked to see my face. I don't even remember with the transaction, but they put it through the thing and I like shove it in my backpack and right away. I realized that it was like that movie The Place Beyond the Pines, if you've never seen it. It's like the complete opposite of Ryan Gosling was me at the moment. And if you've never seen that movie, basically at one point, Ryan Gosling, he's like, dude, he's just fucking wielding knives, has abs. It honestly is the first movie that made me be like, I fucking love Ryan Gosling. Let's talk about that. And if I ever met that guy and he's like, you pick the topics, it would be that and talking about his band, Dead Man's Bones. Dead Weather's a great band too, but his band's called The Dead Man's Bones and they're fucking radtastic. So he, what's it? Radtastic. Oh yeah, raptastic. That makes me think of that. Dude, that's a old Mike Birbiglia bit. Anyways, dude, ADHD is wrecking my thoughts. So, probably the coffee too. Anyway, so I'm on a fucking motorcycle riding back with I got like my backpack on with all my drugs inside, but it's like the opposite of what he did. Cause in that movie, he has to like rob a bank on a dirt bike, like fucking pulls up, robs a bank. He's like, give me that fucking money. They're like, was that Ken? Was that Ken from the Barbie movie? And so he robs the bank and then he's fucking like fucking riding the bike all the way home. Or no, he did it because he meets this guy, so he puts it into like a U-Haul, and they ride away because they're looking for a dirt bike, but they can't see it now, so the cops like pass him. They're like, the guy driving, Ryan Gosling's in the back with his dirt bike, and he's like, they're not turning around. The cops fucking fly by him, and Ryan Gosling's in the back, and he's like, ugh! He throws up, and then he's like, because these adrenaline's running through him. That was me. But the complete opposite of the spectrum could not have been less cool. Just COVID, just flying home with drugs in my bag, just blah, 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 blah. We were both throwing up and had adrenaline, but mine was because my heart was racing because COVID was fucking up my lungs, and he was just trying to help out his family. So that's the most opposite. But that's what I'm trying to avoid on the road. That's why I told that fucking whole story is I want to avoid that on the road. I don't want to get sick. So this past week, I haven't really been doing much. I even need to go to, I got to go to the store. I got to get some shit. But I was like, dude, I'm going to wait. And yeah, try to let my body fucking recoup, which, dude, as you get older, it feels so good. I remember the other night, I was going to go out and then I've had this happen before, but I was like, I'm not going to go out. And as soon as I didn't, I had that feeling you get when you get under like covers and you're like, oh, it feels so nice. Like I was just like, I can just do whatever I want. That's the best feeling. Make sure this is fucking recording. I always have to check. Why? Well, because I didn't do it earlier. Better be safe than sorry, Bob. But yeah, dude, yeah, and I'm excited to travel. I'm gonna go to Philadelphia. I'll be there this coming Friday and Saturday. And the thing I'm so excited about it is I was talking to someone. They're like, "What do you like about it? Is it like There's someone who I care about a lot. They were very sweet. They go, "Does it make you feel proud to be an American when you're there?" And I was like, I've never had that thought there, but it does. The thing I love about Philadelphia is the people. The comedians there are like, dude, New York, and I would say Philly too, dude. They're like unmatched, dude. And Philly's got this like different flavor. And dude, I mean, the comics, we were hanging out outside, and these guys were, making me laugh so fucking hard. We're just doing bits, and they were just talking. And I'm like, these guys, like, they're brewing something fucking special here, like espresso. But that's how all the people are there, too. Like, I want to meet my wife in Philly, dude. Like, I honestly, when I'm there, everyone you meet, you fall in love with. Like, there was a dude after my shows in Philly where this guy was walking towards me, and I was like, dude, can I say something? All due respect. And he, like, how he smiled was like, yeah. And I go, you have two hot women on both sides of you, and you look like hot Harry Potter. And he starts laughing, and they like look at him, and they get like closer. And I was like, you got two girlfriends? And literally he was so, this is how cool he was. He wasn't even like, yeah. He just kind of smiled, and the girls are like, yeah. This girl goes, yeah, I'm actually the new one. She said, I'm the new one. And that made me realize that there is real love in this world. But yeah, that's like, and all the people after the shows, like sometimes you'll be in cities and afterwards they'll look at you and be like, hey, nice to meet you. Like, it's like, and if that's what, if you don't want to say anything, you don't have to, but those people, like, that's how much they give you in like certain cities. But you go to fucking Philly, dude, after the shows, people are like, dude, good show, man. Like, just people are like looking at you in the eye. Like, it's just like, I don't know, they're really personal out there. Like, I love it. And I go there, and then New Jersey, and I already have friends that are coming out to shows in Jersey to see Story of the Year, and in New York. And I'm just so fucking excited because I was in New York for my birthday. I walked, I believe it, I think it was like fucking 14 miles on that night on my birthday, because I was walking by the Comedy Cellar and I was like, I might even buy tickets to like this late show. And I think, who stopped by? I think Chappelle was there or something. I mean, dude, the line was just fucking so long. And I remember I just like went by and I was like, it's almost my birthday. I was like, I don't even want to wait there. And I was like, what do I want to do? And they're right next to the Comedy Cellar in New York is this, like, it's just like a fucking cool, it's just a cool ass little coffee shop. And I was like outside, and I had I had walked into another comedy club and there was like almost no one there. And I was like, maybe I'll watch the show. I was like, I don't want to do that. I love New York, but it's not this specific spot. I was like, I'm going to spend my birthday just wandering around my favorite fucking city. And that's what I did. I just started walking, and I walked around all night. Oh, dude, I walked around so much that I was watching the movie. I was watching this war movie called 1917. Dude, it's such a good movie. If you've never, oh God, and even if you don't love war movies, it's such an incredible war movie. Because like sometimes, like, I don't know, like it's just some war movies I like, some I don't. Like, it's just like, that's how it is with anything, certain music's like that. But this movie at the end, dude, spoiler alert, someone has to live, sometimes he'll die or whatever. This guy like is living. And at the end, he did his mission. He did everything, fucking had to kill guys along the way, lost people, found like what love means again, like fuck it, like all these things. And then he's walking towards this fucking tree, dude. He's just walking towards this tree, and you can just see how he's walking. And people who've like, when you run like really hard, that like, or have a workout where your legs, you're like working, but they're like barely going. That's how I was in New York. Because I also, dude, I underestimated, like I would see a bridge in New York and be like, I'll just walk over it real quick. And bridges in St. Louis, you could hold your breath across them. And I know that it's bigger, but it looks even so much smaller. And I walked across those and I would be so tired. But I remember I was making my way through Times Square, making my way downtown, walking fast, paces spin, and I'm homebound. That guy's homeless. Da-na-na-na-na-na. He asks for your lighter. Da-da-da-da-da-da. You give it to him. He offers it back. You say no thanks. You feel kind of rude. But you don't care, 'cause you're not touching that lighter. If I could just not touch that again. But I've had some really cool times. I was walking through Times Square. I remember I had a girlfriend that I took her to New York she had never been there. And it was middle of the night, and they say that city never sleeps. And dude, this was pre-COVID, dude. It was fucking the most dead I've ever seen Times Square. And we walk out and the lights hit her. And I remember it's a cool moment to see someone see New York for the first time, because I recommend it to it's so fucking incredible. And so we come up from the subway, and I watched the lights hit her face, and she goes, and I was like, this is incredible. And then New York, people are like, why do you love it? It's impounded your car. It's fucking giving you tickets you didn't even understand. It's fucking, people take your lighters, whatever. You see people shitting, you've seen people step in dog shit. Like you are human shit. You've seen all this stuff. What's so great about it? Well, you can be walking with a girlfriend that you're like, I just can't believe you get to see New York right now. And then this guy comes from out of the fucking just shadows. and he holds us up at gunpoint. No, I'm just kidding. He comes out and he goes, boom, 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 boom. He does the bass part. Bow, down, 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 bow, down, bow. I got sunshine. And we just start walking with this guy, fucking singing, having the time of our lives. I think he was looking for a tip, and I believe we probably gave it to him. And I don't remember. And so I was just like, yeah, that's how special that is. But I was by myself for my birthday this year. And I don't mean that when I say by myself. It's so weird how many times people will be like, oh. And like, I love being around people. But birthday can be like a weird thing. It's like too special or whatever. But like, dude, walking around New York by myself is like probably one of my, it'll probably be considered one of my favorite pastimes. And so, yeah, so I'm walking around and I just remember when I was walking, I was like, I remember looking at Story of the Year's upcoming lineup of shows on their tour, and I knew they were playing in New York, and I think I knew it was somewhere near Times Square, but I was just walking around all night, and then all of a sudden I literally look up, and I think it's the Palladium, I think it's how you say it. I just remember looking up, and I was like, oh, I'm here. And Times Square is not one spot. I mean, it's fucking multiple streets. There's like one area, but then off of that is so many other fucking streets, and I was like, holy shit, I'm here. And in that moment, I was like, I'm coming back here. I was like, I'm going to come watch them. And that's like, that manifestation stuff's real. I mean, also just because whatever, but yeah, you manifest it because I have a car now so I can go there. But I'm so excited to drive to New York, dude. I haven't done it in a long, long time. I guess just like 2 years. Can't wait for more tickets that I throw away. After I pay them. So, yeah, I can't wait to go back and to see Story of the Year, and it's going to be cool. Have I ever seen them? No, I've never seen them back to back. I've finally gotten to see them like on the road because I'm such a lucky boy, and I've gotten to see them in, St. Louis so many times, but it'll be sick to get to see them back to back. And, yeah, whenever we, like, I remember whenever I started like hanging out with Dan specifically, which hopefully we'll have what happened the last show, because at the Kansas show, I surprised them on stage, which I've talked about, which was it was so fucking fun. Still not playing guitar with them on stage like they promised, and my lawyer is finalizing this lawsuit, and I really don't want to press it. Fine, play guitar. Well, I'm not ready, so... So, yeah, whenever I joined him on stage, I remember I was like, I'm going to crowd surf into the audience afterwards. But that show, I've never seen a show more set up not to do that. And like, I literally was like, I'm going to crowd surf. And I don't remember, a couple of people said it, but I don't remember if it was my buddy Reagan that was like, hey, dude, don't crowd surf. He was like, you'll die. And he was right, because it was just like an interesting setup. It was like shorter, like the front area before like it started going up. But after I jumped off stage, because I did jump off stage, but just like carefully, and Dan comes out, and then he comes out and he grabs my face, and the lights go off, and he kisses me, but the lights are off, so you can never prove that he broke his vows. So, but it'll be cool to see them like in back-to-back cities and have friends that have never, that's my favorite thing now, because I've seen them so many times that it's like, it's never going to get old for me. But a special thing is when I have someone who's never seen them live, see them live. And I already have friends in Jersey bought tickets. I have friends in New York that are coming out. That whole, that whole night is just, or those 2 nights are going to be incredible. And I get to see, I'll tell you this, if you are anywhere near Philadelphia, please come to my shows, Philadelphia. And, yeah, come out to those shows and just come hang out, because I will be hanging out after the shows in Philly too, because I love that place just so very, 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 very much. But is that it? Should that be the rest of the pod? That might be the rest of the pod. Could that be the whole pod? That might be the pod. Is that the pod? It's going to be the pod. So that's it. Thank you guys for always listening and, giving me great feedback. I got a lot of messages saying, your voice fucking sucks. I'm like, that's good. You know, I'll get another message that says like, you're obviously gay. And I was like, delete. And so, you know, stop sending me that. You know, and I open up another one that says like, anyways. People are like, you joke about it so much, you might be gay. And I'm like, I've been called gay so much that it's like my release valve of like, cause I don't think I am. Cause I've kissed guys, and when you kiss a guy, I feel nothing. If anything, I feel their lips cause I'm in the moment. When I kiss a girl, I just feel, I kind of like, I get nervous. Maybe it's because I'm gay. Anyways, that's the whole episode. I love you. You love me. We're happy. I got to stop quoting Barney. He got canceled. Okay, that's the pod. Bye.